Yo, namaste. It's been a few years, I think, since I posted any kind of video that relates to any of the topics that I'm going to discuss in this video. I'm hoping you can hear me, because I really don't want to have to record all this again. But I think this phone camera should be good enough, and I believe that I'm speaking clear enough, loud enough. We'll see. Anyway, I am Tom. My last name doesn't matter. Well, names don't really matter either, but I'm me. And since the year 2015, I have gone through some extraordinarily horrible, but yet blessing-filled, crazy, insane, and unfortunately impossible situations. Well, at least some of you will believe that they are impossible situations. Some of you, and if you were one of those people, please don't bother to comment about it, because I won't respond to you and you'll just be wasting your time. Some of you believe that these things are impossible. And it's only because you haven't yet experienced them or had them affect your life the way that I and so many other people out there in the universe and world have. And when you do experience it, because I'm a big believer that it'll all come around, when all of a sudden you wake up and everything is different than what you remembered it or what it should be, and things just don't make any goddamn sense. Little things like car logos and the spelling of words, to history changes or geographical changes or planetary changes. I happen to come from the universe where the Milky Way galaxy, where Earth was located on the outer arm of the Sagittarius arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Very clearly remember Carl Sagan teaching this to me. About 80,000 light years away from where it is now, currently. Currently, we now reside close to Orion's Spur, way closer to the center of the galaxy. We're not right there at the center, but way closer. I come from a universe where, if you looked on a map or a globe, South America right now is about 1,500 miles too far to the east. It's surprising that it took them so goddamn long to find it back in the day. In my universe, Italy was always shaped like a boot, but didn't have a high heel. And Sicily, which, yes, looked like it was a soccer ball kicked by Italy, right, out in the Mediterranean, wasn't right next to it. In this universe, the west side, west coastline of South America, if you lined it up on any map, all of a sudden is lined up with Florida. Greenland and Brazil share a time zone. Yes, and I know some of you are going to say, oh, well, that's always been. No. Some of us realize, and this video is mainly for the people that are going through this, realize that no. It didn't always line up with Florida. It used to line up more like with Arizona. Anyway, another major one for me has always been the assassination of JFK. I'm 47, so yes, I was not alive when that happened, right? But I was alive back when TVs only had like 3 or 4 channels, unless you had cable. And growing up, I did not have cable. I did have a TV in my bedroom, though, and would stay up all the time watching it. And every November, I would watch public access channel mainly, and sometimes main news channels would have specials on about, of course, the Kennedy assassination, being that November 22nd is the anniversary of it. I was always into history, too. It was one of my best subjects in school. I wasn't a straight A student. Well, I wasn't a straight A student because I just didn't apply myself. I could have been. But when it came to classes like history and social studies, I was an A student. So I know that in my universe that I was from, before I got to this one, there was only 4 people in that damn car. The driver and the governor of Texas in the front seat. And then there was only a front and back seat. Not 3 rows like there is now. That's weird. Now there's 1, 2, 3 rows in the fucking car. No, that's weird. That's wrong. There's only a front seat and a back seat. Like a normal fucking convertible. A Lincoln convertible. Some weird shit about that too. The whole Kennedy and Lincoln thing. But that's not a Mandela effect. Although it is very strange. But anyway, I digress. The car had 4 people. It was the governor, the driver, Kennedy, and Jackie. Now history and, well, everything claims that it's 6 people. In this new universe, the governor is in the middle row with his wife, which is weird because I happen to know even the reason why his wife was not there that day. She was homesick with the kids. They all had the flu because they were going to have her, and they had the bucket seat ready to put in, but they didn't because she was homesick with the flu. And that's why the governor was in the front seat and why he got shot in the goddamn shoulder. Anyway, I'm not here to argue about the Kennedy assassination. It's just one of the major examples that I can share that really fucked me up when I realized that it had changed. No, there's a million of them. If you're new to this whole effect, or whatever you want to call it, change, strange, weird universe doing weird things. If you're new to it, do me a favor, take a breath. Hold it for a second. Now breathe out. Try to relax. I know it's scary. I know it's stressful. Trust me, I know a lot of the pain that it either has or is starting or maybe will cause you. But one thing I think that will help is if you realize that there's an amazing thing that's happened as well. Some things that you thought yesterday or whenever, last year, whatever it is for you, some things that you thought were impossible, all of a sudden seem to have happened. They seem to have changed. Even though some people out there don't recall it. Well, that's simply because not everybody is aware of the shifts that have taken place. Those of us that have remembered it the other ways, I believe anyway, this is my own theory, our souls, us, have awakened enough, have opened our minds and our hearts and connected all of those enough to be able to not only see these changes and experience them, but also to have the strength, the inner strength, the mental strength to deal with the fact that the universe has changed and still does every day. We're awakened to it. And that's important. That has actually led me down a road or path that has made me spiritually stronger, made me look into and educate myself on things like the law of manifestation and Hermetic principles, which, if you don't know what the Hermetic principles are, I highly encourage you, especially if you're Mandela affected, to look up the Hermetic principles. You will find that they're basically 7 laws of the universe, of creation, that have to be obeyed in all reality so far anyway. And there also, you'll find, happen to be scientific, natural laws as well. And each one of them can be pondered for a lifetime alone by itself in either a scientific context, a layman's context, or in a philosophical, spiritual context. But what you'll find when you learn about the Hermetic principles is that they do exist in everything. Everything that ever has happened, you can apply and see the Hermetic principles at work. Nothing in creation is above the law. Now, God, maybe, but that's a whole other thing, see. Also, of all the things I've had to go through the last, oh my goodness, 9 years now. I'm coming up on 10 fucking years here. I also, after going through a fire in 2018, might have heard about it, the Camp Fire. I was 10 blocks away from the fire line the whole time, up in Magalia, California, above Magalia, actually, a place called Lovelock. And luckily I didn't die, or my son, my friend. Although my friend has died since, and later on, in 2020, I did get to die. Now some of you may be like saying to yourself, well, why are you acting like that's a good thing? Well, those of you who have had near-death experiences or died and came back, like me, will know exactly why it's a blessing. Because what I learned is that we don't die. We are eternal. I saw and talked with during this experience. And yes, I did die. And then I was in a coma for 2 weeks, hooked up on machines keeping me alive while they figured out what was wrong. Thank God, yeah, they did. I'm alive still today. But see, when I was there, God told me I was coming back. Not to curse anybody or get angry, or I have to let go of anger and not hate anybody anymore. Another reason why there's no point in you making bad comments or negative ones, because you're not going to get me to be mad at you anyway. I'm still going to bless you. Still going to send you love. That's because I was told not to. Hey, I promised I wouldn't. But anyway, I did see my dead grandmothers, my great-grandma and my grandma. I did talk with him. I did see my dead friend Barat. Smoked a joint with him. Heaven's a great place. I was with God, but the way I could describe God now and what I experienced was, or the best way anyway, that I figured out how to, was this all expanding cosmic energy of love, pure love, that was the source of everything. And when you go back to that source, actually you're always there anyway. You're just part of us are here now on this planet, in this time, in this life, where it's like we're having a dream, but all of our spirits are still up there, or there. When you go back to it, it's wonderful. You get to realize everything in the cosmos again. You get to relive everything you've ever experienced, and as well as have the viewpoint of everybody else, which is why you don't want to cause harm. Because when you do, when you go back, you're going to feel the harm that you caused and the pain that you caused, not only to the people that you caused it to, but to the people that love them, and the people that love them, and the people that love them, and the people that love them. See where I'm going with this? Anyway, I was just watching some other random shit on YouTube. Was again reminded of the good old Mandela effect. If you don't know why they call it that, you can look it up and find out that a lot of us remember or have memories of Mandela dying in prison. Of course, on this timeline, or in this history, he didn't. In this one, he became president of South Africa and was a great warrior of peace. Rest in peace. Died in 2012, supposedly. But he's up there now anyway, so it doesn't matter. He's still around. Anyway, I guess the main purpose of this video, and the ones I always did before, was to spread love and to let you know that you're not crazy. You're not nuts. And I know it's intense. I know it's hard to deal with. But I also know that if you didn't have the strength to deal with it, you would not be experiencing it. Try to remember that. Try to let that sink in. You are awake to something that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. And that some people are just not awake to. It's almost as if you're spiritually and mentally more evolved than others. And now that's not in a bad way. It doesn't make you superior. Trust me, you won't feel like that either. If anything, one of the things that this effect will do for you is humble you very much. But it can tend to make you feel a little loopy, nutty. Especially when you first get into it, you know. When you first realize it, you're like, whoa. Impossible shit happening. One of the first things you'll do, of course, because we're social creatures, right? Is you'll go and try to talk to your friends and your family and your loved ones about it. Now, if you haven't done this yet, or if you've begun to do this, you'll understand what I'm going to say in a second. Caution. When discussing this shit with somebody who has not themselves awoken to it, they tend to, for some reason, get very mad, very angry. They get defensive. And you are telling them that the whole fabric of the universe and space and time is really could at any whim just change. So you can see how it may make some people feel insecure, I guess. You just have to keep loving. But don't let people think or convince you that you're nuts. You're not. Don't let them convince you that you have false memories. You're not having false memories. Your memories are your memories. Nobody else can have them but you. So how would anybody be able to say or claim that the memories that you're having are false memories? They can't. Well, the only way they could is if you decide to believe that. But you shouldn't. Believe in yourself. Because we're all perfect dreamed creations of God. Sorry, I'm just fucking with my guitar. I'm not trying to play anything. The other things that I've had to deal with, ironically, and not necessarily because of, but definitely affected and intensified because of the effect, have been going through that fire, losing what I thought was going to be the career that I had been working at, which was also totally blessed when I was growing weed. I finally had my own garden with my son and our friend Rick, and the fire kind of pretty much took care of that all. Didn't burn us away, but circumstances afterwards and from surviving it took that away. I'm estranged from my daughter since she was 18. Now she's 25. when it was all over some stupid ass argument. She was taking me somewhere and wanted her to stop and get soda, and she didn't want to. And then she ghosted me. No. The daughter that I used to have in another universe, I don't believe she would have been able to do that. It's another thing you have to watch out for too. See, you're going to have memories of the way things were, but there are going to be people in your life, even ones that are close to you, that all of a sudden will have slightly different memories, sometimes completely different memories. Things you won't remember, or ways you won't remember. And some of them all of a sudden may be, well, completely different people than what you've ever known them to be. Hopefully, you have somebody in your life that you are close to that is also going through this. For a while I did. Although, at the moment he's not talking to me either, my son. But I'm hoping he'll come around. The fire made me homeless, basically. So I was homeless from 2018, after the fire pretty much. And all the way till basically March of 2024. Now I live in this SRO, which I know could be better, but I'm not complaining. I love this. This is what San Francisco does for the homeless. See this? I have this nice little room. It's not a huge room. Not a huge room, but it's a room. It's inside. And they help pay for it. And give me extra money on top of that. And I'm very grateful for that. I have to share bathrooms, but there's like 6 bathrooms on every floor, and I can use any of them. So I've never had to wait. And the people that take care of the place, the maintenance people here at the apartments, are really good, and they do a good job of keeping things clean. So as far as my experience has been, I've had nothing but positive things about it. Experiences. Now, there are others that have had more negative experiences, and other places where they may have more negative experiences than what I'm at. But for the most part, I think it's pretty much a good program. I'm very grateful for it. Now I'm not outside. San Francisco is a great place. So, I'm going to try. No, I'm not going to try, because Yoda said, there is no try. There is only do or do not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making these videos again. Partially for myself, because it's kind of like therapeutic. Also, it allows me to get my thoughts that I always have a lot of out. Partially because it will, I feel, help me in realizing my ideas and such, some of which will be useful for a couple of different writing projects that was weird. Did you see that? I did not touch my camera. I did not zoom it in or out. I don't know why it did that. It's a good film though. Maybe it does that like on its own or something, but that was kind of strange. Anyway, there's a couple books that I'm writing, a couple writing projects, and partially for, I don't know, just the expansion of the therapeutical aspect, but the other aspect, the other part of it is I know how it feels. I know how it feels to be lost. I know how it feels to be alone. I know how it feels to be overwhelmed with anxieties. And I know what PTSD feels like. I know what it feels like to be homeless or houseless. I know what it feels like to feel like everybody in your world has just left you out or thrown you out with the trash. I know what it feels like to feel like you have nobody to talk to or to not have anybody to talk to. And I know what it feels like when you all of a sudden find out, oh wow, the tank man didn't get ran over by the tank? You mean they picked him up and took him to Tiananmen Square? And then the soldiers, the Chinese communist soldiers, got out and protested with him? Yeah, it's some weird shit, I'm telling you. So anyway, I know what that all feels like. And so, my hope in doing these videos is also that they will reach somebody out there or people out there who are going through a really difficult time right now and looking for answers and looking for something, and they have nobody to talk to, nobody to reach out to. Now you do. You have found someone to reach out to. And I think what you're going to find, if you found this video, you're probably going to stumble across a few others like it. And I encourage you to comment and look into those videos, because there's a lot of us out here. A lot of us find each other on YouTube. It's interesting. That's like the part of the human condition is, I guess, we want to socialize. And so we're going nuts talking to a camera. It's sometimes really last resort, or just the only thing you can do to keep yourself from going completely insane. That's weird, it did it again. I swear to God, my hands are like over here, and there's no one else here, except for my dog, but he's back there. So I don't know why or how that is happening like that. Kind of cool, but still strange. Anyway, this is like a 30-minute video now, so I'm gonna sign off for the night, and you'll hear from me again. And again, positive feedback and comments only, please, or useful or relative ones. Anything having to do with the hardships of the Mandela effect, changes, or any other curious scientific issues, or anything having to do with Hermetic principles or questions. I feel free to comment, and I will help answer them the best I can to my abilities. Or if you just need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to pray with you, or whatever, meditate with you, if you just need somebody to listen to you, I'm here. I love you. You see, especially after my death and back again. My little guy over there, Russell Ruru. Russell Ruru and I, we walk in the divine mind, soul, and heart of God. The universe is here for our desires and our abundance. And the only thing we have to do to get everything we want is spread our love. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm spreading my love. There is one person that I really hope sees these videos. And he knows exactly who he is. And if you do, or if you're watching him, please know I love you and that I'm okay. And I understand that life is difficult and hard. And I'm not mad. I hold no grudge. Just totally wish to have you back in my world at any capacity. And the person that is for, I don't even have to say, he knows. And I'm fairly certain he'll eventually see these. So, anyway, this is Tom, an outsider on the edge of time, signing out. Namaste. The divine in me sees the divine in you. Peace, love, and cheers.